Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So last episode we went and did a bit of work on some of the farms, adding in a few farms that we are going to need for doing some of our groundwork around the island, mostly adding in a bunch of new plants that we've gotten and getting all of that set up. And since then, I've been doing a little bit of decorating. As you can see, we've got a ceiling on here, the flower farm's all decorated, and we've gone and moved some of our grass and seagrass farms down a bit. So we've done a few things over here. I'm really liking how this is starting to turn out. I like how we have those set up now, so once we flip up the trapdoors, we can just kind of walk right into those. We don't have the stuff set up for the Nylium farm yet because we don't have any Nylium. And our moss farm area has a ceiling all the way in. So you can see that we've kind of used a bit of tuff. See, we have some sea lanterns. I found those in some ocean ruins nearby. Speaking of which, we also have this sniffer egg. Now, I was going to put this in the back room over here where we have the Nylium farm. But now that that's it doesn't quite feel like the right place to put this. So I'm going to hold on to this until I can figure out where I want to put this. I'm thinking maybe it'll be its own little building out on top of the island, maybe. I really want to keep these in our basement now that we've got this all kind of decorated up like this. But we'll figure something out because then we can get some torch flowers and pitcher plants. And I'm thinking maybe the torch flowers might go in our forest. I haven't quite decided, but it does give us the option. But today we are going to go and stick this away someplace nice and safe. With our plant box for right now, just because of it being our farm plants. But I'm thinking today we are going to work over here. So we've got a sign marked out here for our cactus farm. And I've got a few ideas for that. One idea is basically that we have a fish pond over here, a little waterfall flowing into the fish pond, and then have it go over here into the cactus farm. And just have the cactus farm shoot up cactus up to where we can collect it. I'm taking a look at this area now, and I think maybe the cactus farm might be better off over here. So we have a nice... Yeah, we'll do 5 because that'll do a bit better spacing here. So we have 5 by 5 area here. I don't have any sand on me right now, so I can't figure out how much this is. 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That looks good. That looks like a good space. I'll have to figure out how we're going to get the water here to flow. Because, yeah, I'm thinking it might be fun for us to then go and put a nice little pond over here. So we'll dig out a small little section here. Doesn't have to be very even. And we'll put glass over both of these so we can look into it. But thinking this could be a nice little decorative build in here. I do like doing water builds and ponds and stuff. So thinking maybe we could put some fish in here, maybe get a squid or a glow squid in here. We're not that far from the ocean. And then this will just flow off into here. So I'll have a waterlogged trap door or iron bars. And that'll basically flow over into here. And then fill our little farm. Of course, I've got a bucket of cod on me right now, so I'll have to go get another bucket. But I'm thinking this could be a fun little farm. Now, something I've heard is Buck has mentioned that he started seeing some flowers on our cactus in the desert sphere. So we may have to do some experimenting with that. I haven't seen any out here, but we also don't have any cactus growing right now. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go dig out at least the cactus farm portion and get the area here set up for the pond. Get some cactus in there and see if we can't see any flowers. And then I'll be right back. All right, so there we go. We now have a small little pond here kind of dug out. We do have this section here set up for our waterfall. That's just going to flow right in through here. Kind of dug out the top of this too, just because I thought it might look cool. And then we can just see the kind of little river area there. We do have a iron bar crossed here so that our fish don't get caught in the waterfall. And we've got one right behind here that's already got some water in it flowing into the cactus farm, which those are flowers. It's like we've already gotten some flowers. So we'll have to play around with the water. Ooh, cactus flowers. Oh, those could be nice. Let's figure out some way to farm those. Ooh, we can just plant those anywhere, too. Well, that could be nice. Can we put them on leaves? I'm actually curious. Cannot. Well, it was worth a shot. I'll have to figure out what to do with these. No, that we're going to put them out in the area, but you never know. Might do trap doors. Ooh. We could do that. We could do warp trap doors, put those out in the ponds and stuff out here. Those could look really nice as lilies. But for that, we're going to need warp trap doors. So it seems like we're going to need to either go to the monument or the nether soon, because we're going to need more teal to go with all this copper. But portal issues aside, we have the pond dug out. What I think we're going to do is I got some gravel, sand, mossy cobblestone, and both types of mosses here. And I think we're going to use those to get our little pond base in here. And we'll add our seagrass, our corals. We could probably even just use our corals here just as a base. I'm not too sure about using the pale moss in here, but I figured we haven't used it all that much. Let's try seeing how it looks. So we do have that. Regular moss as well. I'm gonna have to get some slabs of the mossy cobble as well. We don't have a whole lot of that though. That is our only thing for slabs and stairs. This might be hard to see. I'm gonna have to get some sea pickles in here. But I'm thinking that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. Again, we just have to get the rest of this lake bed in. We do have a 2-block gap up there. That way we have plenty of water space before the bottom here for plants to grow in. And everything else. But I think this will be a nice little pond, and as is well known, I love doing my little aquariums and such in our houses. So being able to put one in here is going to be quite nice. But I'm going to go get this built up. Probably get some water into this as well. And then I'll be right back. All right, so that is our little pond bed in. Also got the river here. And as you can see, I decided to put in stone bricks for the sides here. Kind of thought that might be the best and easiest thing to do here. So now all we have to do is fill it up and put in all of our plants. So I've gotten some small drip leaf. I think we can fully waterlog this. Got some seagrass, we've got kelp, we've got sea pickles. We've got a witch in our house. I wish I knew where this witch spawned. I think it might have just wandered in through the hole in the roof in the other room. At least that's my guess. Anyway, we've got a whole bunch of stuff here. We've also got corals and coral fans. We have more that we can easily get from our farm over there. If we had the bone meal, we don't actually have a whole lot of bone meal because I haven't been down to the drow chamber in a while. But we've also got some tropical fish. We've got a warm ocean or lukewarm ocean, I don't know which, outside. So we get a decent amount of tropical fish, which will be really nice for populating this whole place. Hoping that maybe we can get something like a glow squid in here, but I think we're a little high up for glow squid. So I've got a green line stripey there. We've got a bucket of cod that I think we got from our villagers. So we can easily go and fill up this pond with nice little fish. And make sure we have light down here because this thing's going to get sealed off. And then we're never going to touch it again. So we've got stuff to put in. this will be a really nice thing. Not sure we're going to need a whole lot more. We've got a lot of corals here that we can put in. But I suppose it's time that we go and fill this place up. Try not to break the sea pickles that we have down here. And try and go catch more fish. So, I'm going to go get this filled in. Bottom here decorated. Okay, good. We can put the small drip leaf fully underwater. But the only thing I wasn't too sure on. But, all in all, I think this will be a nice little addition to our house. Because I do like my aquariums. Alright, so with the pond all filled in, all we really need to do is just get a few more fish. As you can see, I've added 3 more. And we're just gonna slowly fill this up and eventually cover this all over with glass. So I think that'll look really nice, just set into the floor here. Now we do need to do one more thing, and that is put in our little waterfall here. So that it looks like that's flowing into our little pond. Probably get some lights up there. Ooh, we do have sea pickles. There we go. Might move that back one more so that we can actually have some glass in front of it. But for now, we have a small little waterfall. Now for our cactus farm, I think we're going to kind of keep it just like this. You need to put in some fence gates on the side there. But we do need to get some collection in here. And it looks like this is just short enough that it's not going to be particularly easy to get. It might just be that we put hoppers on these 4 and go from there. Now, as for the wall design here, I'm thinking of going with something kind of deserty. Now, we don't have a whole lot of sand, but I've taken a couple stacks here to make some sandstone. So hopefully the Wandering Trader comes back with some more soon, because we are definitely going to want to get that. But this should hopefully be enough for us to get one whole row here. Now, I did not plan on this being an odd number. So we've got a nice row of chiseled sandstone here along the bottom. I think maybe do some chiseled along the top here. I was kind of thinking that we could do something with this white glazed terracotta too and do this nice sun pattern in here. But I don't know how this is going to work. But I don't know how this is going to work with this being here. So we'll have to play around with this and see what we come up with. But all in all, I think this might be a good start getting this in. Now, I'm thinking that if we can, maybe if we get more sandstone, I might move this row down one and then put some smooth sandstone on top. That might actually work what we want here. So, again, we'll have to play around with it. But I think that may work for this wall here. But that is going to require a lot more resources than we currently have. Because that's all of the glazed terracotta that we got from the villagers. We don't have another way of really getting that. I mean, I suppose we could get some mud and put some dripstone under it to get more clay and go from there. But I think the easiest way to get the glazed terracotta is probably going to be buying it from the villagers. Honestly, I don't think that looks too bad. Once we get that all the way around, get all the cactus in. I think that'll be nice. Which means we're going to need to go get some hoppers and hope that all of our cactus doesn't just get yeeted into itself. Alright, so I did decide to move the one layer of sandstone down. So now that kind of frames the terracotta. You can't really see it too well from down here just yet. But what I have gone and done is I went and dug out these blocks here. So now all those fall into this hopper, which goes into a nice little dropper system, which I have rigged up to the same clock that we have in our kelp farm. So now that's just going to go up here. We've got the hopper minecart going back and forth. We've got 3 wires here going up. And that will just kind of fill in all of this. And that will activate all of the droppers. I've been testing it with some of our regular rails. So if we go and we toss those down there, you'll see that they flow down. We go into the second set. Might slow down a little bit there, so we may have to get some ice. I don't know how high up we're going to have to go to get ice. And with a few short clicks, there we go. 1 and 2. And now all we need is a chest right there, collect our cactus, and wait for the rest of these to grow up. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out for that wandering trader. Hopefully he brings us some more sand so we can get more sandstone for around here. Because I do like that. I really like that. I've gone with oak for our fence gates here. So hopefully those will start growing up and we'll start getting some cactus. That'll be nice. We'll have to set up a composter around here somewhere because I fully expect us to get more cactus than I can generally use. And it'll be nice to have a source of bone meal. At least a more consistent source of bone meal. Gonna have to do something about the storage for that though. But it's gonna take a while for that double chest here to fill up. So it's not something we really have to worry about too much just yet. I think the bigger thing here is going to be getting this floor in and getting everything set up. But for now, I think that is probably going to be it for today. Got in this area here just about all done. Still need a few more details and decorations all through here, but I'd say our basement here is coming along quite nicely. But with that, I would like to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more of what is going on this island and in the rest of this world. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.